Most survival gun videos floating around online today are recycled clickbait. A lot of the people making them have never spent a single night in the wilderness. They showcase heavily accessorized tactical rifles and convince viewers that carrying a 10-pound rifle into a survival situation makes sense. It doesn't. That's fantasy, and it ignores both human endurance and the reality of physical exhaustion. After 3 days of hiking with little or no food, your priorities change fast. Your legs get weak, your energy disappears, and every extra ounce becomes a serious burden. In a real survival situation, you don't need a rifle that looks impressive on camera. You need a tool that keeps you mobile and helps you put food on the ground. Today, we're cutting through the tactical nonsense and focusing on the mechanical realities of long-term wilderness survival. We're looking at 5 firearm systems experienced outdoorsmen continue to trust when supplies are gone and rescue isn't coming. The goal is finding the balance between reliability and weight, because a firearm that's too heavy to carry eventually becomes something you leave behind. Many people are surprised by this idea, but the most powerful rifle in your safe could actually become a liability in deep wilderness. We're going to examine the engineering, materials, and operating systems that continue functioning through mud, rain, neglect, and hard use. These aren't range toys. They're practical survival tools built from steel and polymer with a clear purpose. The first firearm on this list addresses 2 of the most important survival concerns: logistics and weight. That's where the Ruger 10/22 Takedown shines. The standard 10/22 has been a staple of American farms and homesteads since 1964, but the Takedown version introduced in 2012 elevated the platform even further. Its barrel separates quickly from the receiver, creating a compact package that's easy to transport. The combination of a stainless barrel and glass-filled polymer components provides durability while keeping weight under control. One of the rifle's greatest strengths is the rotary magazine. Unlike traditional stick magazines, it minimizes feeding issues, keeps the rifle streamlined, and reduces the chance of snagging equipment while moving through rough terrain. Another critical feature is the knurled tensioning nut at the barrel assembly. If it's not adjusted correctly, accuracy suffers significantly. In a survival scenario where a single rabbit may represent dinner, maintaining proper barrel tension isn't optional. Now consider ammunition logistics. 500 rounds of .22 long rifle weigh roughly the same as a loaf of bread. Compare that to carrying an equivalent amount of 5.56, and the difference becomes obvious. The synthetic stock also offers major advantages over wood because it won't warp, swell, or rot after prolonged exposure to moisture, typically selling around $500 depending on configuration. The 10/22 Takedown appeals to people who understand that staying fed often matters more than maximizing firepower. Its ability to separate into 2 compact sections allows discreet transportation through populated areas without advertising that you're carrying a firearm. Bill Ruger's simple action design remains one of the platform's greatest strengths. The heat-treated steel bolt cycles reliably and can run thousands of rounds before requiring serious maintenance. In long-term survival situations where cleaning supplies are limited, that kind of durability matters. Millions of shooters have proven this design over more than 60 years. While the Ruger excels at logistics, the next firearm addresses another survival challenge: water. The Henry AR-7 traces its origins to Eugene Stoner's design for United States Air Force survival kits. Its defining feature is simple yet brilliant: The receiver, barrel, and other major components all store inside the stock, creating an incredibly compact package. The stock is water resistant and designed to float. That's not marketing hype. It's a genuine survival feature. The barrel itself uses a steel liner enclosed within a lightweight synthetic shroud, helping keep total weight around 3.5 pounds. Like any specialized tool, the AR-7 has limitations. It operates via a blowback system that generally performs best with high-velocity ammunition. Standard velocity loads may not generate enough energy for reliable cycling. Magazine condition is also extremely important because the feed ramp is integrated into the magazine itself rather than the receiver. Even slight damage to magazine lips can create reliability problems. Treat the magazines carefully, keep them clean, and avoid dents. If you do that, the rifle can be remarkably dependable. At roughly $350, it remains one of the most affordable survival firearms available. The floating capability is particularly valuable for boat travel, river crossings, and wet environments where losing gear can become catastrophic. The barrel assembly locks securely into place, and the highly visible front sight stands out well against wooded backgrounds. For extreme environments where many rifles would simply sink or fail, the AR-7 offers a unique solution. Moving beyond pure rimfire performance, versatility becomes increasingly important. That's where the Savage Model 42 Takedown enters the conversation. Often described as the Swiss Army knife of survival firearms, the Model 42 combines a .22 long rifle barrel over a .410 shotgun barrel. This arrangement allows you to hunt rabbits at moderate distances and quickly switch to dealing with snakes or small birds when necessary. Its break-action design is refreshingly simple. Operated by a large lever positioned ahead of the trigger, the firearm contains very few moving parts. There's no gas system to maintain and no complicated mechanism that could fail under difficult conditions. The shooter selects which barrel fires by using a selector located on the hammer. Mechanically, the hinge pin represents the most important maintenance point. Without proper lubrication, wear can increase and operation may become stiff over time. The .410 barrel works well for birds and close-range small game, but isn't intended for larger animals or extended distances. Most practical use occurs inside 20 yards. The polymer stock and forend are designed to withstand hard impacts, making the firearm well suited for rugged terrain. Priced around $500, the Model 42 provides two distinct ballistic solutions in a single package. The break-action design also makes cleaning exceptionally easy. Run patches through the barrels and you're essentially finished. Savage built its reputation on durable firearms, and the Model 42 continues that tradition by prioritizing function over appearance. The next firearm bridges two different worlds: wilderness survival and urban defensive concerns. The Kel-Tec Sub 2000 is a folding pistol caliber carbine that has developed a dedicated following. Its most obvious advantage is portability. Folded in half, it shrinks to roughly 16 inches, making transportation exceptionally convenient. The blowback operating system is simple, durable, and easy to maintain. One of the platform's biggest advantages is magazine compatibility. If you're already carrying a Glock pistol, shared magazines dramatically simplify logistics. Its 16-inch barrel allows 9mm ammunition to achieve greater velocity and improved accuracy than a handgun. Hitting targets at 100 yards becomes much more realistic. However, the blowback system creates a sharper recoil impulse than some shooters expect. That distinctive bolt movement can slow follow-up shots for inexperienced users. The underside mounted charging handle also takes some practice to operate efficiently. Additionally, the rifle must be fully locked open and properly deployed before use, especially during stressful situations. Constructed from durable Zytel polymer, the Sub 2000 resists corrosion and remains lightweight. Typical pricing falls between $400 and $500. It effectively solves the challenge of combining portability with meaningful defensive capability. Protected sights, modular magazine options, and practical engineering all contribute to its popularity. Even with all the advantages offered by modern rifles and carbines, many survival experts eventually come back to one platform, the heavy-duty .357 Magnum revolver. The Smith & Wesson 686 and Ruger GP100 remain survival favorites because they deliver a level of reliability that's difficult for many semi-automatic firearms to match. Modern shooters sometimes view revolvers as outdated, but difficult environments reward simplicity. Smith & Wesson introduced the L-frame in 1980, specifically to handle prolonged Magnum use. Ruger followed with the GP100, a revolver widely respected for exceptional strength and durability. Both revolvers use high-quality stainless steel construction, making them particularly resistant to corrosion. If one spends a week exposed to rain and damp conditions, it still has an excellent chance of functioning without issue. Unlike semi-automatics, they don't depend on recoil energy to chamber the next round. If a cartridge fails to fire, simply pull the trigger again and rotate to the next chamber. Imagine being soaked after a flash flood, suffering from cold exposure, and struggling with numb fingers. Under those conditions, clearing a complicated malfunction in a semi-automatic pistol can be extremely difficult. A double-action revolver eliminates many of those concerns. There are no magazines to seat, no slide manipulations, and no external safeties to manage. A 4-inch barrel offers an excellent balance between portability and accuracy. It provides sufficient sight radius for longer shots while remaining practical for daily carry. Another major advantage is ammunition flexibility. 38 special loads work well for practice and small game, while .357 Magnum delivers substantially more power for larger threats. The primary mechanical concern with revolvers involves timing and crane alignment. Dropping one with the cylinder open can damage critical components. Under normal use, however, these firearms are remarkably durable. They can fire thousands of rounds with minimal maintenance and require no detachable magazines. A new Smith & Wesson 686 generally costs around $900, while GP100 models commonly sell for around $800. Although more expensive than many polymer pistols, they offer long-term durability that can span generations. Looking deeper into the mechanics helps explain why revolvers continue to dominate survival discussions. The Ruger GP100 utilizes a triple locking cylinder system that maintains alignment even under heavy Magnum pressures. Smith & Wesson relies on a traditional leaf spring mainspring, while Ruger uses a coil spring design often praised for durability under extreme temperatures. Both systems provide crisp single-action trigger pulls for precision shooting while maintaining heavier double-action pulls that reduce the risk of accidental discharges during stressful situations. Keeping the cylinder gap free from excessive carbon buildup remains important, but routine maintenance is straightforward. One often overlooked advantage involves logistics. Lose a proprietary magazine for a modern rifle, and your options become limited. Revolvers eliminate that concern entirely. Ammunition sits directly in the cylinder, and loose cartridges can be carried and loaded individually if necessary. The lack of a reciprocating slide creates another benefit. A revolver can be fired from inside a jacket pocket without the risk of a slide becoming obstructed. In extreme cold, that capability may matter more than many people realize. Most revolvers also feature durable steel sights that resist losing zero after impacts. Their steel frames are robust enough for rough treatment, and grip options allow customization for different hand sizes and glove use. Choosing a revolver often means reducing variables and maximizing reliability. Each firearm on this list addresses a different survival challenge. The Ruger 1022 Takedown emphasizes lightweight logistics and sustainable food gathering. The Henry AR-7 excels around water. The Savage Model 42 offers versatility. The Kel-Tec Sub 2000 balances portability with defensive capability. And the .357 Magnum revolver delivers unmatched mechanical certainty. The most important thing to remember is that a firearm remains only a tool. Your mindset, preparation, and decision-making abilities are your true survival assets. Survival isn't entertainment. It's a prolonged test of energy management, endurance, and adaptability. Whether you choose the compact Kel-Tec, the versatile Savage, or the rugged revolver, you're making a commitment to preparedness. Take an honest look at your current equipment. Would it function after a week of rain? Does it rely heavily on fragile magazines or complex systems? The best time to answer those questions is before an emergency happens. Test your equipment in difficult conditions. Shoot with wet hands. Practice when you're tired. That's where specifications stop mattering and real-world performance begins. Reliability is ultimately what counts. Weight becomes the silent enemy long before most threats appear. Every firearm discussed here was selected because it respects the limits of human endurance while providing meaningful capability when conditions deteriorate. Preparedness isn't loud. It's confidence built through knowledge and experience. Learn your equipment thoroughly. Understand its strengths and weaknesses, and choose the tool that best matches your reality.